Hey everybody, welcome to the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. I am your host, Chris Bello, and on today's episode, let me just pull up my handy dandy tracker for what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how to maintain self-discipline while pursuing your goals. It's easy to set goals every year. It's easy to get going and to stay motivated somewhat, but how do you stay focused when you are pursuing those goals? It is so easy to get distracted. How do you stay self-disciplined? If you set a diet, how do you stick to it? You've probably heard how people say, try to eliminate decision making. You have to make it automatic. You have to take steps in order to make things more of a process, more of a system. So for example, if you want to get a workout in the next day, instead of just saying, I want to work out tomorrow, or I'm going to work out tomorrow, actually go ahead and set out your shoes, get your workout gear in order, have everything in a nice little neat pile so that you can change, and then you can take your pre-workout or whatever you need to do in the morning and then head to the gym, whatever time that you're going. So when you do that, psychologically, you've already gotten ready to take that step. Like, it's not really like I'd like to, it's more like I must, I will. Tony Robbins talks about that. Your shoulds must turn into musts if you want to make sure change happens in your life. So I also recommend having an accountability partner or an accountability group. I actually have a mastermind group here in Houston. We hold each other accountable. We meet frequently. We share our goals with each other, and we make sure to check in with each other and ask how everything's going, how we can support, how we can help. And it can be easy to go off in our lives and do our own things, but when we reconvene every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, or sometimes if it's the holidays, maybe once a month, we're able to check in and touch base and say, hey, how can we support you? What are you struggling with? What do you want me to hold you accountable to? I'm actually sitting out here outside of a coffee shop. I'm meeting up with a friend here in about 15 minutes, and he's an accountability partner of mine that we just recently started meeting here in Houston locally. I've mentioned before that I have an accountability partner and friend in Dallas, so we don't get to sit together face to face very often. We do a weekly phone call. We actually just did one last night, but this is going to be like a local accountability friend. I met him at a local real estate group, and he has purchased a property. He is a beginner investor who's looking to get more into building up rentals and things like that. So thought it would be good to forge a relationship to stay in touch because we both have similar goals. He's still working full-time at a chemical company, but he's slowly working his way and building up passive income and eventually wanting to probably move into real estate investing full-time, like so many people would prefer to do, than instead of going into a day job where they feel like, no one's really pushing themselves very hard. It's easy to get complacent. It's easy to get satisfied. So my tips for maintaining self-discipline while pursuing your goals would be, obviously, write them down. Just like your goals, you should have them visible at all times. You need to remember what your actual goals are. If you don't have a destination, any road will take you there, right? You're going to go nowhere. So you need to have a roadmap of sorts. You've got to have a plan. You've got to work the plan. You've got to have people in place. You've got to have them hold you accountable. If I want to eat clean, I'm going to make sure that I don't have anything unhealthy at my house, which I've always done a great job of doing. But sometimes, let's say my girlfriend comes home and she buys a pack of Oreos, and then the temptation is very real. But I still, luckily, I've worked my self-discipline muscles where I refuse to touch that kind of stuff most of the time, where I can limit it. I can usually grab one cookie or two cookies and be within reason and say no to the rest. But some people don't have that self-control. They don't have that self-discipline. If they see a pack of Oreos, they're going to eat 10 when the serving size is like 3 cookies. That's probably not good. FYI, a lot of sugar and stuff and fat and whatnot. So whatever your goals are, make sure you define what would make me be successful in this. So like for eating healthy, what kind of meals do I need to eat? What kind of food do I need to avoid? And then put systems in place. Maybe even if you have late night cravings, actually put a lock on your pantry and lock it at night and put the key somewhere, or have someone else, have your spouse or your partner or your roommate hold on to the key, or make it difficult for you to get access to that so that even if you wanted to get in there, you really can't, not very easily, not very effectively. And that will help you, and you'll also think twice before you go through the headache of finding the key and opening it up. It's an extra legit barrier to you getting that food. That's basically it. Maintaining self-discipline while pursuing goals. Get accountability partners. Take steps, even if they seem extreme, to make sure that you have to follow your goals. And consistently review them. Just like your goals, consistently review the things that you need to work on so that you're making sure to tweak accordingly. Maybe you can go a little more lenient on some areas and then tighten up controls on others. And it's really just a game of getting better, a little bit better every single day. Just like I mentioned before, there's a book called The Compound Effect that talks about small things over time compound, it snowballs, and you eventually see success come from nowhere, supposedly, or seemingly. And so that's all I basically have for today on how to do that. I hope everyone's doing well, having a good week. It's been a crazy day. I've been seeing a lot of momentum. I actually just got off from a mastermind retreat this last weekend in Austin, Texas. I met up with 5 other guys that are entrepreneurs. They own different businesses, from energy brokerage to pressure washing businesses to website design. So we all talked about our goals for 2019. We reviewed them. We talked about our goals for 2020, what our main takeaway was from 2019. So it was a really good learning experience for us to be able to leverage the experiences of people in different industries and different age groups, all the way from like 21 or 22 to like 37 or 38. I forget how old my buddy is. Of course, he looks a lot younger than he is, just like I look a lot younger. People are surprised to hear that I'm 29. They think I'm like 23, 24. Believe it or not, I'm almost 30. I'll be turning 30 here this year. Dirty 30, as the saying goes. But yeah, I'm going to go meet up with this accountability partner. We're going to review some goals. I told him I was going to make 100 calls to leads 2 weeks ago by the time we met up again. I did not do that. I probably made like 5 calls. I've had a lot of leads coming to me, fortunately, just through social media and through content. So I did not hold myself accountable to the 100 thing, the 100 cold call thing. But he'll probably give me, a hard time about it. And then we'll readjust, we'll make new goals, and maybe we'll put some rewards and punishments in place if we meet or fail to meet our goals, just to make sure that we really have that added pressure to really make it a priority. Hope you all have a great week, or hope you're all having a great week, since this is the Thursday episode. And make sure to subscribe to my email list. You'll get the free productivity hacks guide, chrisbello.com/free. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell thing, do all that stuff that people ask you to do that I always forget to do. And then please leave a review and 5 stars if you're listening to the podcast, if you have not already. If you have, you're the best. For those who have messaged me, I truly appreciate it. I'm very grateful to get those messages, and I love to hear what you love about the podcast and things that you want to hear next. So yeah, I'll talk to you all later. I don't know. I'm kind of out of content. I keep doing this for the Thursday episodes. I don't have any notes, and then I'm like, yeah, that's basically it. Short and sweet episode, less than 10 minutes long, kind of like I used to do at the beginning. And I've gotten so much better. I used to take so much time to write notes, write out bullet points, have a quote of the week. Now I just come from the heart. I just go with the flow. I kind of riff on a topic, and I do very minimal editing. So I hope you guys love it. Let me know what you think about the new podcast format. Is it too informal? Am I all over the place? Do you kind of like more of the vulnerable, real side of me? Please let me know what you think. I am going to go for real now because my friend should be here any minute. Talk to you all in the next episode of the Entrepreneur Motivation Podcast. And as always, thank you for listening. See ya.